What's up, buddy, man? It's LeBronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. Before you do anything, go subscribe to Young Simba for making this video. Get him to 17,000 subscribers and like up the original video. Now, I got into some Twitter discourse the other day, or it was like last week, and European lad was talking about how 80 years in the future, people will be talking about Lionel Messi and how lucky we were to, you know, grow up, and the fact that we was able to witness somebody to win 8 Ballon d'Ors. And I was like, bro, 80 years in the future, people gonna be talking down on this era just like we talk down on Pele in them era, because the sport will evolve, humans will evolve, athletics will evolve and all of that, and it will eventually become someone to be greater than the great Lionel Messi, because this is just how the worlds work. This is just how the world works. Records are meant to be broken and times are meant to change. And I got into an argument with somebody, and somebody brought up an interesting point. He said that football has peaked, as in it is done evolving and there is no more individuality, and it will stay at this exact form that it is right now, with being robotics and tactics and team form for the rest of time. Now, me personally, I honestly said that was impossible, but a lot of people actually have that viewpoint, and a lot of people say that Lionel Messi will forever 80 years in the future, 100 years if we still here, 200 years if we still here, will forever be the greatest footballer of all time. I just don't see it mathematically possible. But hey, I digress. We'll see 50 years in the future where the league has gone. This leads us to today's video. What will it take to reach? I got a Messi and CR7 RONALDO. Let's see what goes down.
Here is a list of the players with the most seasons with 25 plus league goals in a single year. You'll see some all-time greats on this list who have managed to have many seasons scoring at an elite level.
And then you got Messi and
Ronaldo in a league of their own. This is just one of the many stats these two have embarrassed football in. The Messi versus Ronaldo debate is the most controversial debate in sports. It's caused a divide between the fans, and no matter how hard you argue, there will never be an agreed upon answer. But
I mean, I feel like it's widely publicly agreed upon that Messi is the greatest of all time over Ronaldo after he won the World Cup, considering Ronaldo does not have a World Cup. I feel like that was the deal breaker and decider to put the case to rest. But if your favorite player, Cristiano, of course, like, they not go publicly admit that Neil is the greatest, but they know deep down inside, you know.
What I'm about to show you
too, because everybody that come up now, you gonna be comparing them to Messi, Ronaldo. Them two was such anomalies that, you know, it make this current era seem like a dud. Like, compared to past eras, comparison is a thief of joy. But like I was saying with my point, in the future, somebody is gonna come who is just as good as Messi, score just as many goals, do this, that, and just a tad bit or a slight better. Somebody could come. So you got Messi won 8 Ballon d'Ors, right? Guess what? Ronaldo took 5 of them away, so he could have possibly had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Ballon d'Ors. Who says in the future another Lionel Messi will arrive and he don't have a Ronaldo to combat him, and he wins all the goddamn awards? I see that as a realistic possibility.
We all know about the Ballon d'Ors, Champions Leagues, and countless goals and trophies they managed to get. But what you may not know is just how out of reach some of the records they have broken are. So let's break it down, because it gets
91 goals in the season for sure.
Before breaking down what the two did combined, let's first look at their dominance separately, starting off with the machine himself. Ronaldo over his career has been known as the embodiment of hard work, and over the years we've seen firsthand just how his hard work has turned him into an unstoppable force in football. At nearly 40 years old, with a career spanning 23 years, Ronaldo is the footballer with the most official goals ever, with a number that is still going up.
Hey, y'all think he gonna hit 1,000 before he retire? I feel like he gonna hit 1,000 before he retire. That's gonna be live as hell.
Cool, that seems untouchable, and got me thinking, what will it actually take for anyone to break that record? But before we answer that, besides scoring more goals than literally anyone else in history, Ronaldo has an adaptability that often doesn't get spoken about. Whether it's in England, Spain or Italy, Ronaldo has managed to always dominate and is the only player ever to score 30 plus goals in a single season in 3 of Europe's top 5 leagues.
Yeah.
He's navigated the physical...
That's one of Messi critiques, that some people said that, you know, he never played in the Premier League. And, you know, the Premier League is widely viewed as the most balanced. I say that. I'm going to stop saying that best league in the world because people always get mad at that. The most balanced or toughest league in the world. Put it like that versus the La Liga or like the Serie A. Nel only has played in the La Liga, the Uber Eats, and now Major League Soccer.
In 3 of Europe's top 5 leagues. He's navigated the physicality of the Prem, the technicality of La Liga, and the defensiveness of Serie A.
I never thought about it that way.
He's won the league multiple times in each country too. Winning these massive trophies is far from easy, and only a handful of players have ever won a league title, domestic cup and super cup, Champions League, Club World Cup, Golden Shoot, and Ballon d'Or. This haul of trophies is enough for an elite career, except Ronaldo has done it twice. At 2 different clubs.
Damn.
The only player ever to do so. The fact he's managed to be
don't get me wrong. Ronaldo definitely is the 2nd greatest player of all time. Oh, even speaking of, the original R9 didn't have CR7 in his top 3 players. I feel like when it comes to accomplishments, now, I honestly hope Ronaldo get this World Cup in 2026 if the United States of America don't win it. So he can add that to his resume so he could be realistically put back into these greatest of all time conversations, bro, because he has to be 2nd greatest of all time.
Only player ever to do so. The fact he's managed to be so consistent throughout his career is one of the things that truly sets Ronaldo apart. We're not talking about 2 or 3 seasons of greatness followed by struggling years. No, year in, year out, Ronaldo was reliable enough to score. He's the only player ever to score 60 plus goals in 4 different calendar years, and is the only player ever to score 50 plus goals in 7 consecutive calendar years.
Damn, so that's 1, 2, 3. That's 2011 through 2014. He scored 60, and then he scored above 50 from 2015 to 2017. That is 7 years right there, man. 7 years straight where that man just went bananas. You know how long 7 years is? 7 years ago was what? 2018, bro. I was a freshman in college.
A striker is considered elite if he does this once.
Damn, I was a freshman in college 7 years ago? Shit.
7 times in a row is actually laughable. The silly thing about Ronaldo's goal scoring records is that they just go on forever, like his international goal record, his hat-trick records, and more. But at the risk of this video being 20 hours, let's turn our eyes over to what I believe is Ronaldo's greatest accomplishment, his Champions League records.
Oh yeah,
Ronaldo is
Champions
by far
League.
the highest scoring player in Champions League history with 140 goals, with Messi second with 129 and Lewandowski third with 101. Other than that, no one really comes close. However, unlike his other goals records, this one might be in jeopardy. Reason being is with the way the new Champions League format works, you now play extra.
I thought he was finna say might be in jeopardy because of Haaland. But yeah, the new format definitely does give more games to happen, which means more goals. So the game gonna change up. And like I say, the game will continue to evolve, and who knows what happens in the future.
So 2 group games and potentially 2 extra knockout games. You're also playing against more weaker opponents, which gives more chances to stat pad and score loads. Even his record of 17 goals in a single season might be broken. Someone like Haaland now has a pretty good chance to catch Ronaldo with all the extra games he gets. However, that is not the only stat Ronaldo leads. Let's look at knockout Champions League goals. On this graph is a ranking of the players with the most knockout goals in the champs. You can see Lewandowski and Benzema both on 32 and others around the 20 goal mark. Except if you look further ahead, you'll see Messi way out in the distance with 49 goals, and then somewhere even further along, you have him, 67 goals in 82 games. By far the most goals in Champions League knockout history. I don't see this record being touched anytime soon. For context, Haaland has 8 so far and Mbappe 20. But it gets even more crazy. If you take away Ronaldo's round of 16 goals and only include goals scored in the quarterfinals, semis and final, he still has 42 goals, which is more than everyone else but Messi. So even if someone with the new format matches Ronaldo's knockout goals, they for sure aren't touching his goals from the quarters onward. He's simply too much of a big game player. He's the only player ever to score in 3 Champions League finals.
See that? Let me see that. The records.
And a big game player.
Or the
He's
history.
the only player ever to score.
Messi versus Ronaldo Champions League records. Once he started winning, Messi hit the. Then Messi won. Okay, so Ronaldo won it 08. Messi won it 09. And then Messi won in 2010. Then Ronaldo won in 14. Then Messi won in 15. Damn, it seems like Messi win every time he win until that goddamn 3P happened. So Messi last time winning, this was MSN era 2014-15. Then Ronaldo then 1, 2, 3 of them. Back to back to goddamn back. Oh, I heard this 2005 one don't count because Neil didn't really play. You know.
3 Champions League
bench.
finals. And what he has done in the Champions League is unmatched. And to top it off, only 6 players in this competition have ever managed to win the Golden Boot more than once. Then you have Messi, who's won it a shocking 6 times. Then there's Ronaldo, who's won it 7. Going over these records truly put into perspective just how much further ahead he is than the rest of the competition. But now it's time to go over the absurdity of someone whose records I'm willing to bet my life on won't get touched.
See? Messi. Hold on, I had to let that out. But this is the conversation that we was having on Twitter. I do indeed believe that somebody will be born. Who knows what country? They probably ain't even born yet. They probably not gonna be born yet in the next 10 or 20 years. We never know. Somebody gonna be born that's gonna be better than Mr. Ankara Messi, fool. It's inevitable. Even in basketball, Bron, I already know somebody gonna eventually come along that's better than Bron. I had no problem. I'm already securing that. It's finna be somebody that's 6'9", just like Bron, if not taller. 250, just like Bron, if not heavier. Can jump just as high as him, if not higher. Can shoot better than him. Got better handles than him. Better defense. It's only a matter of time. Put it into the football world, man. Let's see what goes.
Let's talk about the alien. While researching this video, the amount of records I found that Messi had is simply unreal. But I will go over what I deem to be the craziest records. And let me say, what you're about to see is truly crazy. Messi ranks number 1 in a lot of categories. He ranks number 1 in the most goals ever in a single top flight league with 474,
Damn.
as well as having the most trophies won by a player ever with 46 trophies. For context, Harry Kane has 0. And he has the 46 trophies.
Why that boy do Harry Kane like that,
Harry
man?
Kane has...
What Larry do to y'all, man? What them Tottenham cock? But that's a slug to the cock boys too. Y'all should take offense right there. I know he don't play for y'all no more, but goddamn, that's where he spent his whole career.
0. And then there's the records we all know about, like his 8 Ballon d'Ors, his 2 World Cup Golden Balls, as well as a winner's medal. The only person to score at every single stage of the World Cup. But the thing is with Messi that I can't seem to wrap my head around is just how much further ahead of everyone else he is. It's hard to put into words this wide margin. So instead, I'll show you. Here is a chart of the top 10 players with the most goals and assists in Europe's major leagues in the 21st century. You have the usual
Shout out
suspects
Robert,
like
bro. Shout out Lewandowski. He's up there with him.
Cracked over 400. Then there's Ronaldo, way up on 646, making the others look tiny in comparison. And then there's Messi. This is the gap between Messi and literally everyone else. He's made their numbers look mediocre, skewing our perspective on what greatness actually looks like. And we will talk about the implications this has later. For Messi, his playmaking is what stands out the most. Assists are a kind of hard stat to compare. They are completely reliant on your teammates scoring, and so they can never paint the full picture. Instead, chances created and big chances created tells a better story, as it doesn't matter if your teammate scores or not, you still get recognized for your creativity. In the history of Europe's top 5 leagues, since big chances created became a stat a long time ago, only one player ever has managed to get 25 plus goals and 25 plus big chances created in a single.
That's a stat. All the advanced stats and stuff. That's where you start losing me. Big chances created in a single season, top 5. The man Neil did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
League season. That man is Messi. He's done it 7 times, including 30 plus in both stats 3 times. I promise you, we won't ever see anyone even come close. For someone
you can't say that. You can't say, I'm gonna let the video play, but you can't say that. You don't know the future. Everybody said that back in the day. I'm sure they said the same thing about Maradona. I'm sure they said the same thing about Pele, the same thing about Johan Cruyff, until the next player came.
Be so prolific in front of goal or this creative is rare, but both in one player. He has even more playmaking records, but that one just makes no sense. It's almost pointless going over every single record, but there's just one thing I think everyone needs to see. The greatest year in football.
91 goals.
I can make a whole separate video on this year alone, but let's sum up how silly this year was. In 2012, Messi scored 91 goals in a calendar year.
Jared Miller, John Eddie, woo! Hey! I ain't know boys was actually close to this record now. I thought it was actually a substantially large way. Watch out in the comments. Whoa, Jerry Miller played in the Farmers League. He played in the plumber. Bro, he was a farmer himself. He was a farmer himself. He's a part of that generation. Don't disrespect the old guys like that. Jerry Miller was only 6 goals away. That crazy. That's how you know, bro. Somebody's gonna come and break this record eventually, especially with it being more games.
Initially, the most anyone has ever scored. What's even crazier is he also had the longest scoring streak in consecutive league games with 21 games in a row, the most in history.
And then the only person who was close is this Sparta Prague, Slavia Prague, and that was in the 40s, man.
33 goals.
Shout out Jared Mueller, of course, 69
games. To truly appreciate how much of an anomaly Messi was in 2012, let me show you one more graph. This is a chart of each player who had the most goal contributions each season in Europe's top 5 leagues in all competitions.
Okay.
You had greats of the game like Henry, who cracked 60, and Ronaldinho, who managed 50. Then as you go through the years, the numbers get more and more absurd, with Messi showing his brilliance, routinely getting 70 plus and even 88. But despite Messi redefining what it means to have a good scoring and assisting season, the 11-12 season shattered even his own expectation. 104 goals and assists in a single season. Triple digits. There's no words to describe this anymore. So far, I've only gone over Messi and Ronaldo separately. But I promised in this video that what I've got to show you will truly change how you view and appreciate Messi and Ronaldo forever. See, Messi and Ronaldo need their own category in football, and I'll tell you why. Prior to the two taking over, the average number of goals needed to win the Golden Boot in the league was around 27 goals, with the record for the most in a season belonging to Hugo Sanchez with 38.
Oh, L3!
Record for the most in a season belonging to Hugo Sanchez with 38.
Okay, Hugo. Hey, shout out L3, man.
This is what a normal year of scoring looked like. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Then there's the 11-12 season. Oh, and also the 14-15 season as well. And pretty much every single season they played in, they shattered every record. The two of them scored 40 La Liga goals 3 times, with Messi once getting 50. The only player who has ever come close is Suarez when he managed to score 40. It literally took Suarez getting 40 goals to dethrone Messi or Ronaldo. It wasn't until the two of them left when we started seeing regular numbers again.
Now they start going back down, and then now that's what I'm saying. This is around the era where I started watching ball, and everybody expect everybody to be Messi and Ronaldo, bro. They are one of a kind. They once in a generation, bro. You can't expect everybody to be like them. Guess what? Why people say fell off? Now we back in the holding period until the next GOATs come. You know, like the Lamine Yamals of the world. We waiting for Lamine to grow up, and we waiting for whoever else to come to say to elevate the sport and change the sport, like Neil and CR7.
Messi and Ronaldo did. How can we consider this regular? Our perception of scoring has been completely skewed. It's become impossible to see 25 goals scored.
Who? Dove Big.
Think it's elite when we just watch two guys routinely get 40. It got to a point where there isn't even a point of comparing Messi and Ronaldo to other attackers anymore. Let's look at their prime scoring years. Between the 2010-11 and 2015-16 season, both Messi and Ronaldo scored 224 and 234 league goals respectively, for a combined total of 458 over those 6 seasons. So let's put Ronaldo and Messi's combined scoring numbers over these 6 years up against every single team in Europe's top 5 leagues. After counting up every single team's scoring tally over the same period of time, Messi and Ronaldo's combined tally ended up ranking 4th place.
I'm surprised PSG up here. Shout out Paris Saint-Germain. Bayern, Man City, and PSG are the only ones who above Messi and Ronaldo between the scoring periods during that era.
This kind of blew my mind, because how can two guys outscore so many entire football clubs? But it gets worse, because during this 6-year stretch, Messi and Ronaldo missed some games, 45 to be exact. And so if we calculate not total goals, but goals per game, you'll find that Messi and Ronaldo combined for more goals per game than every single football club in Europe's top 5 leagues. Two guys, more goals per game than the biggest clubs in Europe. Seeing one of them play was an anomaly, but two at the same time, what they did to football.
Hey, y'all heard what I alluded to? Seeing one was an anomaly, but to have two at the same time, oh yeah, now that's wild as hell. In the future, the next time the anomaly come, it's going to be a real small chance that it's the second one. to that first anomaly, and that first anomaly could be going, you feel me, break all the records.
Needs to be studied, but for all the joy they've brought to the sport, they've also ruined it at the same time. These two have redefined greatness. Players of past generations are now having their stats and accomplishments revised to take into account Messi and Ronaldo, and so players who were once considered GOATs have been knocked down a peg. Take someone like Cruyff, was considered the GOAT of European football. 3 Champions League titles, 3 Ballon d'Ors, and an iconic career that was going to be impossible to top. And while he's
That's what you remember I said that they said the same thing about Cruyff, Pele, Maradona until the Knicks came.
A GOAT of his era, those numbers look small compared to Ronaldo's 5 Ballon d'Ors and Champions Leagues, and Messi's 8. And now guys who were once considered tier 1 have now been bumped down to tier 2. It's even worse for the entire generation of footballers who had to unfortunately share a stage with Messi and Ronaldo. Their achievements have been watered down, and a great striker has now become a good striker as a result. Players who managed to score 40 league goals in a season, like Lewandowski and Suarez, would have had their seasons immortalized in football history. But unfortunately, Messi and Ronaldo scored 40 league goals in their sleep. The harsh reality is some legends of the game should be held much higher than they are. But because they never truly got their chance to have the spotlight, they never got to cement their status. When you get to define an era yourself, your legacy becomes way higher. But between 2008 and 2023, a whole 15-year span, no one else got to do that. Like, think about Xavi, Iniesta, and Neymar. If Ronaldo and Messi didn't exist, they all would have 2 Ballon d'Ors to their name. Xavi and Iniesta would be considered the best.
That's really sad though. Thinking about, thinking on the flip side of it, like, yeah, you grateful for the Messi Ronaldo era, but as he said, they did kind of ruin football discourse. They part of the reason why a lot of people feel like football is dead now, because y'all so used to seeing these two terrorize and do all that alien-like generational stuff. Now things are back to normal, and you got to get back used to normal football again. But if it didn't exist for Fernando Torres would have got him one in 2008, then Xavi, then Iniesta, then Xavi again, then Iniesta. Oh, that's a millionaire midfield right there. The boys would have went back to back with Ballon d'Ors going band for band. Then we got Frank Ribery in 2013. I heard that he got robbed. Then we had Manuel Neuer, would have been the first goalkeeper since the man Lev Yashin to win Ballon d'Or as a keeper. Then Neymar in 15. Then Antoine Griezmann in 16. Antoine Griezmann, okay. Then Neymar again in 17. Big Birds in 19. Then we got Robert
would
Lewandowski
have
in
2
21.
Ballon d'Ors to their name. Xavi and Iniesta would be considered the best midfielders of all time,
Oh, hell yeah.
no question. Same with Neuer and Van Dijk winning the award as well. Not to mention, because Messi and Ronaldo have so many Ballon d'Ors between them, a player winning the honor twice won't even seem as special knowing there's a guy out there somewhere with 8. But the main reason why they've been able to destroy so many records and create a tier of greatness all by themselves is their longevity and consistency. For 2 players to not only be on the top of their game so young, but to remain there well into their 30s is unheard of.
I mean, you on the clock.
They were rarely injured, they always performed at a high level, and they were able to deliver goals, assists, and trophies. It's safe to say to reach this level is close to impossible. Since turning 30, Ronaldo has 447 goals, 3 Champions League titles, 3 league titles, and a European Championship, as well as 2 Ballon d'Ors. His career after 30 years old is better than 99% of players' entire careers. And then you have Messi, who has won a Ballon d'Or in the 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s, 3 entire decades. While most players were winding down their careers at 35, Messi was lifting the World Cup trophy. Now, longevity is something that has improved in modern football. We all know how meticulous Ronaldo is with taking care of his body, but guys like Ibrahimovic, Modric, Lewandowski, and even Benzema have shown that players can play much longer than generations past.
Oh, hell yeah. And then it's going to keep people go start playing longer and longer as sports science come along. But they are introducing more games. So who y'all think going to prevail? The more games of fatigue or the sports science that has more players playing well within their later ages?
But take into consideration, Messi and Ronaldo both started at 17 and spent 2 decades playing at the highest level, outlasting the Wonder Kids who were supposed to replace them. For the next generation of Wonder Kids who made their start so young, they've been given the most unrealistic of expectations due to instant comparisons to Messi and Ronaldo. Every time a left-footed attacker bursts onto the scene, he's instantly compared to Messi. and every time they failed to live up to the hype. Well, obviously,
Look at that. Who has been hailed as Messi's heir, bro? Who the hell named this? Oh, that was back in the day. Never mind, I lied. It's back in the day. I wasn't watching.
And what we're now seeing is the next generation of talent feeling the effects of the Messi-Ronaldo hangover. When it was rumored that Vinicius might win the 2024 Ballon d'Or,
Oh, this is the prime example. They comparing it to previous years. Bro, previous years, they won the Ballon d'Or with this amount of goals. Vinny has this amount. The Ballon d'Or doesn't take into account previous years. It's about this season, this current season. Who was the best in the world or last current season? Vinicius Jr. was. It don't matter about what people did in the past and comparing that. That's not what the award is.
all I saw was posts about Vinicius Jr. would be the worst Ballon d'Or winner in history because his numbers didn't come close to Ronaldo or Messi. Despite the fact that Vinny had numbers similar to every Ballon d'Or winner before the two.
Look at that.
The question is, will we devalue the future generation's accomplishments because they haven't reached the impossible standard?
Oh, hell yeah. They already doing it now. It's going to continue to happen until, like I say, that one player in the future generation come, and guess what? That future generation gonna be talking down on Neil and Ronaldo just like y'all talk down on everybody else, bro.
Well, I think, yes. We won't be able to help ourselves. So hypothetically, what is it actually going to take for the future generation to catch up to Messi and Ronaldo? If we look at Ronaldo's goal tally, that number is only going up despite Ronaldo being close to 40. And it's safe to say Ronaldo will aim for 1,000 career goals. But since he's not in Europe anymore, for the sake of it, let's take Ronaldo's goal tally excluding his time in Saudi. That puts him on 836. The closest active players to that number are Lewandowski and Harry Kane. Neither of them on their current pace would reach Ronaldo anytime soon. In fact, if they scored 40 goals a season, they'd both need to play until 41 years old to match Ronaldo's tally. However, there are two more players who actually are on better current pace.
How many goals a season?
Ronaldo's tally season would reach Ronaldo anytime soon.
You say 40?
In fact, if they scored 40 goals a season, they both need to play until 41 years old to match Ronaldo's tally. However, there are two more players who actually are on better current pace, Mbappe and Haaland. But even if they both managed 40 goals a season, every single season, for the rest of their careers at Real Madrid and Man City, they'd both need to score at this rate until they were 38 and 39 to catch Ronaldo. Now 40 goals is doable to these guys, right? They've both already had seasons scoring 50 goals. But one season isn't enough. They'd need to keep this level up for the next 13 seasons straight in Europe's most grueling leagues, staying free from injury just to have a chance. Miss a season or drop off in form and your chances are gone. Well, what about Messi's goal contribution record? Messi, excluding the MLS, has 1,177 total goal contributions. And this is a record I'm confident won't be touched. Best case scenario, let's take Lamine Yamal. Only 17 years old, already getting first team minutes and has burst into the scene. Let's say he has a career spanning 18 years of playing top level football. For Yamal to reach Messi's total goal contributions, he needs 66 goals and assists per season, every season for 18 years straight. To get 66 once is elite, but for 18 years straight, For context, in the 21st century, only 7 players have managed to crack 66 goal contributions in a single season, and only Mbappe has done it more than twice. Ronaldo has managed to do it 6 times, and Messi has done it 8, and they both managed a hell of a lot more than 66. For anyone to even come close to these numbers, they'd have to have the discipline, the luck, longevity, consistency, good teammates. There's just too many factors involved, and I just can't see anyone reaching this point ever again.
It's gonna happen. Like I say, hey, I respect Messi, Ronaldo, and of course the point of the video is getting boys their flowers. We giving them their flowers, but hey, I'm telling you, in the future, whether it take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, it's gonna happen eventually.
What we witnessed Messi and Ronaldo do was truly one of a kind, except we witnessed both at the same time.
Yeah,
and the truth
that's crazy.
They needed to exist at the same time to reach these numbers. They both propelled each other to heights no one knew possible. They both knew that they could never have an off year because the other was always there to pick up the pieces. Their motivation stemmed from knowing they had to be better than each other. And in the end, it gave us the most insane rivalry in the history of sports. So it doesn't matter who you think is better. The heights these two reached will never be reached again.
Hey, whoa, they take the reach MESSI and RONALDO. Hey, go subscribe to Young Simba. Clap it up for Young Simba. Hell of a video right there. MESSI and RONALDO, bro. Yeah, them boys is aliens. Them boys is amazing. And we definitely are lucky that we was alive to watch these two GOATs play football and do their thing, man. Leave down in the comments below if you believe that football has peaked and it is done evolving, and that's just about it. Like, the sport is cooked. Y'all let me know. I'm out.